So what does the state of Kentucky have in common with that little island across the pond? Besides the fact that they both have sweet accents, they also both have innovation sandboxes. We've already chatted about Kentucky's, so today we are going to talk about what the UK's regulatory body is doing with theirs. You guys know how much I love talking about innovative, disruptive disruption, so I had to take a closer look at Project Innovate, which, first of all, is not named very innovatively. I would have named it something like Project Rising Nighthawk. Project Innovate is way too clear and descriptive. Naming conventions aside, it does seem like a pretty cool deal. So let's break it down. The UK Sandbox launched as an operational initiative in 2016 by UK's financial regulatory body, the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA. So already one difference from Kentucky's, the scope is quite a bit wider, encompassing the entire fintech space in addition to insurance. According to FCA Strategy and Competition Director Christopher Woolward, Project Innovate has three main goals: stay attuned to emerging issues, create a safe space for firms to experiment, and develop RegTech, technology between regulation and firms to deliver regulations more effectively and efficiently. Quick pause on that note. The more I get out into the industry, the more I see regulators across the board trying to achieve all those goals. And obviously there's some selection bias there because the people I'm running into and getting to know are the ones actively engaging, but I do think there is more support on that side than I had previously thought. I was thinking about this the other day when I overheard a wise regulator talking about the challenges on their end, i.e. how we approach working with them. It's not helpful for us to say things like regulation is blocking innovation or the government hates technology XYZ. We need to be specific in which specific piece of regulation is hindering progress and which specific government body needs to enact change. That's the only way we can help them help us. Anyways, I digress. Back to the UK. Prospective innovators apply to the sandbox and, if approved, become part of a cohort. Once you're in the sandbox, you have access to the sandbox tools, which are a tailored authorization process for firms not yet authorized to conduct the applicable relevant activity in the UK, guidance from the FCA on rules and requirements relevant to the innovation test, waivers or modifications to existing FCA rules for the duration of the test, with the caveat that national and international laws are out of scope. No enforcement action letters for cases where the FCA can't issue individual guidance or waivers but believe it's justified, and informal steers on potential regulatory implications of an early stage innovation. Since the sandbox went live in July 2016, 375 applications have been received. Of the 375 applications, 118 ideas/organizations have been accepted. There have been 5 total cohorts thus far, with the most recent announced in April 2019. To give you an idea of the types of ideas and companies coming through the sandbox, here are a few examples. BitX, a cross-border money transfer service powered by digital currencies blockchain technology. Canlon, an insurance policy that saves a portion of the net premium to reimburse policyholders if a claim is not made. And FloodFlash, which provides event-based flood insurance even in high-risk areas. Customers receive a pre-agreed settlement as soon as the company's sensor detects that flood waters have exceeded a certain depth. The FCA published a lessons learned report, which indicated early success with the following metrics. 75% of the firms that were accepted into the first cohort did complete testing. Around 90% of the firms that completed testing in the first cohort did go on to a wider market launch. The majority of firms issued with a restricted authorization for the test went on to secure full authorization after the test. So from the initial results, it does seem like the sandbox entrants are bringing viable ideas that could be operationalized on a larger scale. There were a few interesting elements in the early findings, such as the fact that there were primarily new technology applications, not new technology products. For example, applying an existing technology to an existing process to reduce expenses and ultimately price for the end consumer. Which makes sense considering the overarching goal of the sandbox is to promote effective competition in the interests of consumers, which is in line with Kentucky Sandbox as well. This isn't about giveaways to either incumbents or startups. It's about the overall health of the financial services ecosystem. A side benefit that I thought was interesting as well is that in some cases, the sandbox seems to have solved the chicken and egg problem of regulatory approval for new players. So one of the sandbox tools is quicker authorization for not yet authorized firms. This allowed these new players the extra vote of confidence of sorts that allowed them to secure additional funding. I'll link to the report in the description box. Lots of really interesting information is available on those early findings. All of the sandbox activity, even globally, does all seem to be pretty early though. There's not much available yet in the way of comprehensive lookbacks. And while I'm a huge proponent of failing fast, I also acknowledge that some innovations take a while to mature and gain adoption, so you also don't want to make the call too early. So what do you think the timeline should be for these types of sandboxes? 6 months, a year, multiple years with support tapering off? And what do you think of both the global sandboxes and the US's brand new sandbox in Kentucky? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Insurance Nerdery, where it is cool to be a nerd. I'll see you next time.